All right, here's the truck. It is about 6 months later, but yeah, finally had time to step out here and record a quick video real quick. So I'll start from the front, work my way to the back. So we replaced the grill with this kind of like, it's from Tech Customs, kind of like the first gen, like older Toyota style bumper, or grill, which I really like. Bumper's still the same. Winch is blown out. I destroyed the gearbox helping tow somebody out of a ditch. I need to replace it. There's not a functioning winch there currently. I've got, let's see, so I replaced the upper control arms. I catch a lot of flack for these, but I honestly have had nothing but good luck with them. My factory uppers were losing their, turn this up a little bit, they weren't holding alignment at all. I had factory uppers with a lift, and I just had, all the time I was in the tire shop getting an alignment, and it'd start pulling one side or the other. So I put these guys on, had it aligned once, and they have held amazing ever since. I'm running 285 70 17 KO2s. I took off the 3rd gen TRD wheels, sold those, and bought the Rough Country D-rings. I really like these. They're very heavy duty. They're heavy in general. They're just very solid. So far, loved them. No complaints other than the weight. So the paint, we sanded the entire truck down to the, don't mind the bird crap up here. We sanded the entire truck down to the primer, and then we did self-etching primer over everything, and then sprayed this color of Raptor, and I mixed this color up myself, so I was very excited about it. I wanted kind of like an FDE gray brown kind of color, and super happy with how it came out. I sprayed the front bumper, the rear bumper, the sliders, and the review mirrors, and the camper shell with the aerosol version of Raptor, and they've all done this. Like, it's all started kind of flaking. So I will say, like, the aerosol stuff does not hold up nearly as good. Like, this stuff, you can scratch it and then just like get it wet and the scratch goes away. Like, this stuff has been awesome. I'm super happy with it. I'm actually in the next week going to be pulling all the stuff that I use the aerosol can with. I'm gonna be taking all of it off and respraying it with I bought a box of the black Raptor that you spray out of an air compressor. So I'll be doing that hopefully here pretty soon. So yeah, so this is the color. That Raptor went on super well, really happy with it. For the inside, I pulled out the radio and put a Boss Audio Elite. This is a 10-inch unit. It's got wireless CarPlay, and everybody's always like, how do you adjust your thermostat and everything like that? It's on like a sliding ball hinge, and so it just presses down, make your adjustments, and it slides back up, and it's got a little tray under. It's actually just a single DIN unit, so there's storage underneath there. It's got USB-C on both sides, which I really like. My wife can like plug in a flash drive to it and watch movies while we're driving. This can kind of pull out and tilt towards her if she wants it to. I really like it. So it also has built-in GPS. This is the puck for it. The puck right here, this is a GoPro mount. The puck right here is actually for the Wolf box. This is the G300 Pro. So it's got front-facing camera and 4K backup camera. It records all the time. I love this thing. It's super handy. The only qualm that I have with Wolf box is this. Like, as soon as you go to move your visors, you bump into this thing because it sticks out about that far past either side of your regular review mirror. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, but whatever. I love that thing. It works great. It's got built-in GPS. It's got a much more accurate speedometer on it. I've got bigger tires and a lift and yada yada. And so my stock speedometer is not always spot on. Actually, never spot on. Carhartt seat covers. I love these things because they're really easy to take on and off, and they're kind of waterproof. If you spill something on them, you can just wipe it off. I can run these things through the washer and dryer. The only downside is that material. They love pet hair. So my wife had her Cocker Spaniel in here yesterday, and it's a puppy and just had a bath, and like all of its loose hair is now stuck in my truck. But whatever, I need to go clean this thing out anyway. We drove about 700 miles over the last 48 hours through Flint Hills in Kansas, and this truck needs washed terribly. These headrests, I was super excited about these. I'll move around so you can see them. I was at the Moore Expo in Springfield and found these guys. They're called Onward. These headrest covers have a crap load of storage room in them. This one I had some like hand tool, there's still a screwdriver down in there. But my gloves and just like flathead and just some random stuff was in this one. And then I have some medical supplies and like first aid in this one. They've got Molly patches, or a Molly system on the front and Velcro. My other radio's on the floor. I have two radios in here. One's here, one's over there somewhere. And then they've got these like can or bottle holders on the bottom. I've got a fire extinguisher in this one. I had oxygen in that one for when we were in Colorado. It is not needed here in the Midwest because we are not at high elevation. And yeah, so it's in the back of the truck currently. So there's not anything in that one right now. There are in the pouches, but just not on this bottom side. Sunglass holders on both sides. I really, really like these things. And they have like full back panels that run down the back of your seat. That was super handy too. I just thought these were cool, and they give you like quite a bit of extra padding on the front to kind of lay your head back on. Everybody knows first gen Tacomas don't have the most comfortable front seats, but whatever. I'm not gonna dog on this truck. I love it. So yeah, this is the inside. Let's brighten this up. All my ridiculous patches that my wife has helped me collect, and from trips we've been on and movies that we like, and some military stuff. And yeah, anyway, there's the inside. And then normal, I've got a double cab, so I've got a whole bunch of straps and all kinds of stuff crammed behind the seat. Oh, the floor mats. I get asked about these things all the time. They're the Husky floor mats. These things fit. They don't look like it right now because my truck's super messy, but these floor mats fit this truck phenomenally. Like, I love how like grippy they are, and they like fit in the footwell really well. So yeah, those are pretty cool. I get asked about those quite often, where I got them. So those are Husky brand. I had a guy in Arkansas build these and weld them to the frame. They're pretty solid. Knowing what I know now and having had them on there for about a year, there's definitely some things I would do differently on them, but I'm still happy with them. They serve their purpose, and they are built very well and solid. I'm running 285, 70, 17s. I think I already said that. I've got the Sumo spring like bump stops back here, and then I'm running the OME Old Man Emu heavy duty leaf spring kit, which everyone online is right about those. They squeak like you would not believe after you've had them on your truck for 3 to 6 months. I think it was right at like the 4-month mark for me. They started squeaking like crazy, but I just carry a can of the WD-40 white lithium grease and spray all those little bushings like once every 60 days, and it stops. So pro tip for you. This is my only problem that I have with Raptor, and it's not Raptor's fault. There is a plastic tray right on the inside of this wheel well, and it collects leaves and all kinds of gunk from the road and moisture, and all of this rust, it's actually like bubbled up, if you can see that. So that, like, I sanded all this off and resprayed it. There wasn't any rust on the metal. It's all surface rust and moisture that's pushing through the metal from the backside. There was just like a wad of leaves and stuff from the road that have gotten up in here and gotten trapped. And so all the moisture was just like pulling through and had nowhere to go. So that was a bummer, but I'll have to sand. It did it on the opposite side of the truck too. It's on both rear wheel wells. So I got to take care of that. This camper shell, it was white when I purchased it. It's the ARE dcux. It's their commercial line for like work trucks and stuff. I got a really good deal on it. I brought it home, immediately stuck it on my sawhorses and sanded it down and primered it and sprayed it black. I didn't want a white camper shell on my truck. I'm gonna be respraying it with the Raptor like I said, but this thing is awesome. I love this. So I had a rack, like a bed rack and a rooftop tent for the longest time on this truck. And then I was on a solo camping trip one night and came to the conclusion of, if I had an emergency or I had one of my children with me and they had an emergency, I could not go anywhere until I packed this tent up. And if I'm running around frantic, it's gonna take me at least 10 minutes to get this thing folded up enough to where I can move the car. And being a dad and a person who worries about the future all the time, I was just like, yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So rooftop tent, not for me. That's fine. I loved it. It was super comfy and it looked cool and it served its purpose, but this is what I went to instead. So I found this camper. Mind you, I have a double cab, so it's only a 5-foot bed, which sucks, but luckily I'm not graced with a whole lot of height. So I'm like 5'10" on a good day. And so I can pop the tailgate and lay kind of diagonally and I got more than enough space. So I've got my shovel mounted up here. There's a full like grid up top. I can mount my spare up there and everything. Jack is on the back. All 3 of these doors pop up like this on these hinges. So this is what I have done the most work on, I guess. So I've got just like a cheap little wireless LED kit with a remote that I mounted right there so I can see at nighttime. That's my sleeping cot, mat, whatever that I have rolled up. It pretty much stays back here unless I'm gonna be hauling a bunch of stuff and I'll toss it in the shed, but it's usually bungeed to those little hooks right back there so that it doesn't, roll around. But I was moving stuff yesterday, so it's not bungeed up right now. I've got a camping table, camping chairs, gas can holder, old paper towel holder, bungee cord here, 2 more camping chairs, a tripod, got a pair of water boots in here somewhere, another pair of shoes, some sandbags for work, and then trusty horse mat right here. So horse stall mat from Tractor Supply, just add a little bit more barrier. This guy is built out of marine grade, aka waterproof, semi-waterproof, hopefully never gets wet plywood. So I've got these PVC sliders in here to help gracefully slide these heavy drawers back into place. It's not, I mean, you can definitely do it with one hand. It's not horrible, but they are very heavy. I had at one point in time a swing out tire carrier on this truck, and between that and this, it was just a lot of weight, and I don't have airbags on this truck yet, so I actually got rid of the swing out tire carrier. I can put my spare up there when I need it. And then I've got tools. Don't judge me on my brand of tools here, everybody. I don't keep expensive stuff in the truck, but I've got tools, some power stuff if I need to run. I've got like 100 feet of extension cord, bunch of spare parts for the truck and some light stands and stuff like that, so I can work on the truck if I need to on that side. And then this side is all my camping stuff. I've got all the way in the back, camp stove, propane, obviously you gotta have dude wipes. I've got fire starter, compass, my coffee. I've got a whole bunch of food and paper towels, and what is it, 2 or 3 gallons of water back here. All my camping stuff. I've got like a jump starter, jump pack, a bunch of power stuff, medical, and then batteries and like power stuff for the lights and some other things like that, cables. I've got a small one of the mini power generators. I've got a med kit, and then this little solar powered radio that is also Bluetooth. And I can also just like plug in my phone to this thing and pop open the solar panel and it charges my phone. So that's super nice. I've got this guy, which it takes probably a good like 5 minutes, but it works. I can pump my tires up to 40 PSI with this guy. It is solar or battery powered. It charges solar, uses the battery. It works good. It's time consuming, but that is my air for now. I don't have a generator or a compressor anywhere. So yeah, this is all mostly just not super healthy canned stuff that I can leave back here and have if I feel like taking off and going camping for a few days. So I leave this pretty much constantly loaded up. It's a pain in the butt to empty all this out and stick it in the shed and everything. So this stays loaded pretty much 24/7. So it is really nice on a cool evening. You can prop these up. I have a roll up like mosquito net material that I can magnet over these, just like between here and here, and then lift these guys up. They're all on these little struts, and you get like a really nice breeze. I've got a fan over there that I can mount on the ceiling or leave it in the window. So like it's pretty cozy back here. I know it's not like a ton of room, but it's honestly, it's about the same amount of space that I had in my rooftop tent. So I like it, and I don't like, if I need to leave, if I need to pack up, if something happens, I literally hop out, slam my tailgate, and I'm good to go. I get asked about this guy a lot too. So I have torqued the crap out of these handles, but you can loosen them. So I made this mounting system for my jack just out of parts from a hardware store. I mounted it kind of at an upward angle so that if either of these handles ever came loose, and they're kind of at an upward and outward angle, so it's got tension on the bolts. So even if one of these handles popped off while I was driving, like they're on there very tight, but if one of them did pop off, it's still like the bolt's kind of sitting up like that. So it's got quite a bit of tension on it, so that, I mean, to take this thing off, if I got my tripod out, like you've got to like yank it and both sides at the exact same time to get it off. So that was one thing I wanted to make sure I wasn't like flimsily mounting a very heavy jack to the back of my truck. So yeah, this is it. I'm very happy with it. I love this truck. I am probably never going to be quote unquote done working on it. I'm constantly doing stuff to it, but yeah, this is it.